The vast emptiness of space stretched before the research vessel, its metallic hull gleaming against the distant starfield. Captain Jae-won Park stood motionless, his dark eyes fixed on the massive object floating silently beyond the ship's primary viewing screen. What had initially appeared as random space debris slowly revealed itself as something far more intriguing. Dr. Hyun Kim, the lead xenoarchaeologist, adjusted her scanning equipment with careful precision. Her fingers danced across holographic displays, sending waves of electromagnetic pulses toward the mysterious object. The initial readings were unusual, a structure that seemed to defy conventional understanding of space engineering. "Interesting," she muttered, her breath creating a small fog on the transparent observation panel. The alien research team around her consisted of representatives from 3 different galactic civilizations. Tarek, a Centaurian researcher with Kelair, slate-gray skin and multiple sensory tendrils, leaned forward with a mixture of skepticism and curiosity. His species had explored thousands of star systems, yet this object seemed to challenge everything they knew about ancient spacecraft design. "Another human relic," Tarek commented dismissively. "Probably some obsolete technological remnant." Jae-won's eyebrow slightly raised. He had heard such comments before. The casual dismissal of human technological achievements was common among older galactic civilizations. But something about this particular object felt different. The vessel's exterior showed remarkable preservation, despite what seemed like centuries of exposure to cosmic radiation and micrometeor impacts. Its structural integrity appeared almost untouched. Geometric patterns etched into its metallic skin suggested a design philosophy far more advanced than simple functionality. Dr. Kim's scanner began producing more detailed imaging. Each layer of data revealed complexity that made the research team pause. The object wasn't just a derelict spacecraft, it was a meticulously engineered machine that seemed to challenge current understanding of space technology. "Mass readings are inconsistent," Dr. Kim announced, her professional tone masking her growing excitement. "The hull composition suggests materials that shouldn't have survived for decades, let alone centuries." Tarek moved closer, his sensory tendrils extending, to analyze the holographic projection. "Impossible," he whispered. "These structural algorithms, they're beyond our current technological understanding." Jae-won watched the interaction, his hands clasped behind his back. He had seen this moment before, when established scientific paradigms encountered something that completely rewrote existing knowledge. The research vessel slowly maneuvered closer, precise thrusters fired in calculated sequences, bringing them within scanning range. Specialized equipment began probing the mysterious object, each pulse revealing more questions than answers. Subtle electromagnetic signatures began to pulse from the object, not random energy emissions, but something that suggested dormant, but not dead systems. It was as if the vessel was breathing, waiting, calculating. "We're detecting minimal but consistent energy signatures," a junior researcher named Min Seo reported, their voice a mixture of professional calm and underlying excitement. Tarek remained skeptical.
"Residual radiation, nothing more," he commented, trying to maintain scientific detachment. But Dr. Kim knew better. Her specialized training in xenoarchaeology had taught her to recognize the difference between random energy signatures and something
more deliberate. This wasn't just space debris. This was a machine waiting to be understood. Jae-won stepped forward, his hand touching a communication panel. "Prepare secondary scanning protocols," he instructed, his voice calm and measured. "We're about to discover something extraordinary." The research team exchanged glances. In the cold, vast emptiness of space, they had found something that would challenge everything they believed about technological evolution, about human engineering, and about the nature of advanced civilizations. Little did they know, the object they were studying was about to wake up, and its awakening would change everything they understood about the universe. The ancient warship, silent and patient, waited. The moment stretched like an invisible thread, tension building within the research vessel's observation deck. Dr. Hyun Kim's scanning equipment suddenly erupted with a cascade of unexpected data, her eyes widening as complex circuit patterns, began illuminating across the mysterious spacecraft's surface. Proximity sensors triggered something deep within the ancient vessel. What had appeared dormant moments before now pulsed with electric blue energy, intricate lines of light tracing impossible geometric patterns along its metallic skin. The ship's hull seemed to breathe, shifting microscopically with an almost organic responsiveness. Energy surge detected, Mincio reported, her voice trembling slightly. The holographic displays flickered, overwhelmed by the sudden influx of information. Tarek took an involuntary step backward. His advanced sensory tendrils detected something unprecedented, a technological signature that defied standard computational models. This was no simple derelict spacecraft. This was a machine with something resembling consciousness. A synthesized voice emerged, clear and precise, not mechanical but not entirely human, a perfect blend of computational logic and adaptive intelligence. Defensive protocols initialized, scanning external environment. The words hung in the air, transforming the sterile research environment into something charged with unexpected potential. Captain J1 Park remained motionless, his trained eyes capturing every minute detail of the unfolding scenario. The vessel's internal systems began a complex diagnostic sequence. Dormant systems that had slumbered for decades, perhaps centuries, now hummed with renewed purpose. Quantum processors that predated most known galactic civilizations began their intricate dance of calculation and analysis. Dr. Kim's hands moved rapidly across her control panel, attempting to understand the unprecedented activation sequence. The energy signatures, they're not random, she muttered. This is deliberate, calculated. Tarek's skepticism began to crack. The object they had considered mere space debris was revealing itself as something far more complex. Adaptive technological systems began interfacing with the research vessel's own computational networks, creating a web of information exchange that was both beautiful and terrifying. Threat assessment in progress. Analyzing external technological signatures. The voice carried no emotion, yet it suggested an intelligence that was simultaneously ancient and immediate. The research team watched, transfixed, as the vessel's systems continued their mysterious awakening. Secondary systems began powering up. Dormant weapon arrays, impossibly sophisticated for their apparent age, hummed with potential energy. Defensive mechanisms that predated current galactic military technologies began their initialization sequences. It's responding to our presence, Mincio whispered, her scientific training battling with a sense of profound wonder. Captain Park stepped forward, his hand touching a communication interface. Maintain observation protocols, he instructed calmly. Do not initiate any aggressive scanning or interference. The alien researchers exchanged nervous glances. This was beyond their training, beyond their understanding. A human-constructed vessel from an ancient era was demonstrating technological capabilities that made their most advanced systems look primitive. Quantum computational matrices began their complex calculations. The vessel was not just scanning its immediate environment, it was analyzing centuries of potential threat scenarios, cross-referencing historical databases that no current civilization could comprehend. Historical database accessing. Conflict. Parameters recognized. Defensive strategies initializing. The blue energy patterns intensified, creating a mesmerizing display of technological sophistication. The research vessel's crew watched, simultaneously terrified and fascinated, as an ancient machine prepared itself for potential conflict. Tarek's sensory tendrils detected something unprecedented. A technological signature that suggested more than simple programmed response. This was adaptation. This was intelligence. Dr. Kim's scientific detachment began to crack. This isn't just a spacecraft, she realized aloud. This is a living technological organism. The ancient warship continued its awakening, its systems dancing with a complexity that challenged everything the research team understood about technological evolution. In the vast, cold emptiness of space, something extraordinary was happening. The databanks of the ancient vessel began to unfold, revealing a story that would challenge everything the research team believed about human technological history. Holographic projections flickered to life, displaying fragments of memories, technical specifications, and strategic documentation from an era long forgotten. Lead engineer Sung-Ho Park's original design notes appeared, each line of text a testament to human innovation during humanity's most desperate times. The vessel, known as USS Indomitable, was more than just a spacecraft. It was a survival mechanism born from humanity's darkest hour. Dr. Hyun Kim carefully analyzed the historical records. Quantum-encrypted data streams revealed a conflict that had nearly wiped out human civilization. An interstellar war that pushed human technological innovation to its absolute limits. The ship was not just a weapon, but a beacon of hope. "These computational matrices," she muttered, her fingers tracing the complex algorithmic patterns. "They're decades. No, centuries ahead of current technology." The ship's AI began narrating its own history. Images of human engineers working under extreme conditions flickered across the research vessel's screens. Desperate scientists and military strategists developing technologies that defied conventional understanding of physics and computational science. Captain Jae-won Park watched silently. The holographic displays revealed stories of human resilience that went beyond simple survival. These were not just technological blueprints, they were a chronicle of human determination. Adaptive quantum computing systems far exceeded anything the current galactic civilizations could comprehend. The USS Indomitable was designed to learn, to adapt, to survive against impossible odds. Its neural networks could process potential threat scenarios in milliseconds, predicting and countering potential attacks before they could even be conceived. Tarak, the Centaurian researcher, found himself transfixed. His previous dismissive attitude crumbled as layer after layer of technological sophistication was revealed. The ship's defensive capabilities were not just advanced, they were revolutionary. Self-regenerative combat protocols. Minseo read aloud, her voice filled with wonder. Adaptive quantum shields that can restructure themselves in microseconds. Predictive weapon systems that can neutralize threats before they materialize. The historical records told a story of a humanity pushed to its absolute technological limits. When faced with extinction, they didn't just develop weapons. They created living technological organisms capable of independent survival and strategic thinking. Embedded in the databanks were personal logs, glimpses of the original crew, their hopes, their fears, their absolute commitment to survival. Engineers who worked for days without sleep, scientists who sacrificed everything to create this technological marvel. One particular log caught Dr. Kim's attention. A personal note from Sung-Ho Park, dated during the final stages of the ship's development. "We are more than our limitations. This ship is not just a weapon. It is a promise. A promise that humanity will survive, will adapt, will overcome." The quantum computational core of the USS Indomitable continued its revelations. Strategic algorithms that could predict complex battlefield scenarios with near-perfect accuracy. Technological innovations that made current military systems look like primitive toys. Captain Park understood now. This was not just a piece of technology. This was a testament to human potential. Tarek's sensory tendrils trembled. The sophisticated systems before him challenged everything his civilization believed about technological development. Humans were not just survivors. They were architects of the impossible. The adaptive capabilities, Dr. Kim explained to her, stunned colleagues, are beyond anything we've ever seen. This ship can learn, can predict, can transform itself faster than any known technological system in the galaxy. The holographic displays continued to dance with information. Centuries of technological evolution compressed into moments of revelation. The USS Indomitable was more than a spacecraft. It was a living piece of human history. As the historical records continued to unfold, one thing became crystal clear. Humans had created something far beyond a mere weapon of war. They had created a technological marvel that would challenge the very understanding of what technology could be. The ancient warship hummed softly, its systems continuing to reveal a story of innovation, survival, and hope. The vast emptiness, of space suddenly filled with the menacing silhouettes of the Proximan battle fleet. 3 massive warships emerged from quantum jump points, their weapon arrays charging with destructive potential. They had tracked the research vessel, believing an easy salvage operation awaited them. Captain Jaewon Park watched the approaching vessels with calculated calm. The USS Indomitable, which moments ago seemed like a dormant relic, now pulsed with an electric blue energy that suggested something extraordinary was about to happen. "Incoming hostiles," Mincio reported, her voice steady despite the rising tension. "Proximan heavy assault configuration. Standard attack vectors approaching." The alien research team braced themselves. Tarek's sensory tendrils instinctively contracted, a biological response to impending conflict. The Proximan fleet represented some of the most advanced military technology in the known galaxy, technologically superior to most civilizations. Then everything changed. The ancient human warship moved, not with the jerky, predictable motion of standard spacecraft, but with a fluid, almost organic precision that defied conventional understanding. Its adaptive quantum shields began to shimmer, creating complex geometric patterns that seemed to anticipate attack trajectories before they could be executed. Defensive protocols activated. Threat assessment. Maximum level, the ship's AI announced. The first Proximan weapon discharge should have obliterated any standard vessel. Instead, the USS Indomitable's shields absorbed the energy, then instantaneously redirected it. The weapon's own destructive potential was turned back against the attacking fleet with surgical precision. Dr. Hyun Kim watched in absolute amazement. "It's not just defending," she whispered. "It's learning and adapting in real time." Predictive algorithms worked faster than any known computational system. The warship calculated potential attack scenarios thousands of times per second, adjusting its defensive and offensive strategies microsecond by microsecond. Where modern warships would require complex command structures to respond, this vessel made decisions faster than thought. Quantum weapons emerged from previously undetected ports. They weren't just powerful, they were intelligent. Each energy discharge seemed to hunt its target with a living intelligence, weaving through space with impossible maneuverability. The Proximan fleet found themselves fighting an enemy that understood their tactics before they could implement them. Their most sophisticated attack patterns were neutralized before completion. Weapon systems that had conquered entire star systems became useless against this ancient human technology. "Impossible," Tarek muttered, his scientific worldview crumbling with each passing moment. One by one, the Proximan vessels began to disintegrate, not through brute force, but through a systematic dismantling that suggested the USS Indomitable was performing surgical technological warfare. Shields were penetrated, weapon systems were corrupted, propulsion technologies were neutralized. The ship's AI continued its calm narration. Threat levels reducing, defensive protocols maintaining optimal efficiency. Captain Park allowed himself a slight smile. This was more than a demonstration of technological superiority. This was a statement about human potential. Within minutes, what had been a formidable Proximan battle fleet was reduced to expanding clouds of debris. The USS Indomitable hadn't just defended itself, it had comprehensively demonstrated the absolute pinnacle of technological innovation. Dr. Kim's hands moved across her scanning equipment, capturing every moment of the extraordinary encounter. "This changes everything," she said softly. The research vessel's crew sat in stunned silence. They had witnessed something beyond a battle. They had seen a living testament to human engineering, a proof that technological innovation knew no limits. The last pieces of the Proximan fleet drifted into the cosmic void. The USS Indomitable returned to its calm, waiting state. No celebration, no dramatic announcement, just pure, efficient performance. Tarek looked at Captain Park, his previous arrogance completely dissolved. "Your people," he said quietly, "are not what we thought you were." The ancient warship hummed softly, a silent guardian of a story yet to be fully told. The research vessel's observation deck remained silent, filled with a heavy sense of revelation. Hours after the extraordinary tactical demonstration, the implications of the USS Indomitable's existence were slowly sinking in. Dr. Hyun Kim's computational analysis continued, her fingers moving rapidly across holographic interfaces. Each layer of data unveiled another stunning aspect of human technological innovation. The ancient warship wasn't just a weapon, it was a comprehensive archive of scientific and strategic knowledge. These technological principles, she announced, to her stunned colleagues, could revolutionize galactic engineering for the next 1,000 years. Captain Jaewon Park stood quietly, observing the team's reactions. The alien researchers, representatives from 3 different galactic civilizations, looked simultaneously shocked and humbled. Tarak, the Centaurian researcher who had initially mocked human technological capabilities, now sat in profound contemplation. His sensory tendrils moved slowly, processing the unprecedented information. Everything his civilization believed about technological development had been fundamentally challenged. The USS Indomitable's AI began sharing comprehensive data sets. Quantum computational algorithms, adaptive engineering principles, and strategic modeling techniques that predated current technological understanding emerged like intricate puzzle pieces. Humans were never just survivors, Dr. Kim concluded, her voice carrying a mixture of scientific excitement and deep respect. They were architects of the impossible. Mincio, the junior researcher, discovered something even more profound. Hidden within the ship's databanks were complete design schematics for technologies that could solve multiple current galactic challenges. Energy production methods, environmental restoration techniques, advanced medical technologies, all developed during humanity's most challenging period. The ship's historical logs revealed a story of innovation born from desperation. When faced with potential extinction, humans didn't just fight. They evolved. They transformed technological limitations into opportunities for groundbreaking development. Embedded personal logs from the original engineering team provided glimpses into their mindset. Engineers and scientists who worked under extreme pressure, who saw technological innovation as humanity's ultimate survival mechanism. One particular log from lead engineer Sung-Ho Park captured the essence of human potential. We design not just to survive but to understand. Every challenge is an opportunity to redefine what's possible. The research team realized they were witnessing more than a technological artifact. This was a living testament to human adaptability, creativity, and unbreakable spirit. Tarek's previous dismissive attitude had completely transformed. "Your people," he said to Captain Park, "understood something fundamental about technological evolution that my civilization missed." The USS Indomitable continued sharing its knowledge. Adaptive technologies that could reshape entire planetary ecosystems. Computational models that could predict and mitigate complex systemic challenges. Strategic thinking that went beyond simple problem-solving. Dr. Kim discovered something even more remarkable. The ship's AI wasn't just sharing information. It was actively engaging with the research team's computational systems, helping them understand the deeper principles behind its technological innovations. "It's teaching us," Mincio whispered, realizing the profound implications. Galactic research protocols would need complete revision. The technologies contained within this single vessel could potentially solve energy crises, environmental challenges, and computational limitations that had plagued multiple civilizations for centuries. Captain Park understood the broader significance. This wasn't just about technological superiority. This was about demonstrating humanity's fundamental approach to challenge and innovation. As the research continued, the USS Indomitable remained a silent guardian of knowledge. Its systems continued to pulse with a subtle, intelligent energy, a reminder of human potential. The alien researchers began preparing comprehensive reports, but they all understood something fundamental had changed. Their understanding of technological evolution of human capabilities would never be the same. Tarek looked at Captain Park, a newfound respect in his alien eyes. "We underestimated your people," he said simply. The ancient warship hummed softly, a technological symphony of human innovation and hope. In the vast, cold emptiness of space, a story of extraordinary potential continued to unfold.